Alright, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Kalayim La Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Ha'arakak Wadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who do rule and teach well. Today, I would like to get into Ephesians chapter 4 and 11, just something that's kind of been on my mind, throughout the day, and I just thought, might as well make a video on it. So, of course, Shabbat Shalom to all the Akim out there, as well as a few sisters that listen and learn with all sincerity. And we know that we're still in Purim, the Feast of Purim, and it's on the Sabbath. So when the Sabbath ends, you pretty much can resume, Purim, and just keep it in remembrance. I just read editions of Esther. I never read editions of Esther before. Last time around this time of year, I don't think I even knew editions of Esther was even in the book. I didn't really get into the Apocrypha like that when I was younger in the faith, but now I started to get into it and getting more into the Apocrypha. You see me, I love to constantly bring out Esdras. I just, so much info in Second Ezra, so much things you can cover, and it just takes you all over the place. You can go all across the Testaments and really go all over the place just with that book alone. It's it's wild. It's very, very direct and like literal, very literal in Second Ezra with a lot of stuff that's put out there, and it's real. Of course, there's some poetic information in there as well, poetic allegories and so on and so forth, but it's all there. So it's the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and 11, right? And the he being Yahushai, because all you got to do is read up above, verse 8, wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men, right? We know the gifts, the Rakak Kodash, the Holy Spirit, so on and so forth, right? And he ascended up on high, through the resurrection, and he basically ushered in that period of grace, and that's what Yahushai did, and was able to accomplish through his death, and his sacrifice, and it's really his murder. They murdered him. He was an innocent man. He did not sin on this side, and he'd rather free a murderer than let the Lord go free. And let our Lord Yahushai go free. They murdered him. We won't forget that, and we won't forgive it. And you 2/3, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered, because you same people out here could be even your own mom. You same people that are around here nowadays, same people that were scoffing at the prophets back then, scoffing at the apostles, and that led Yahushai to his murder. And y'all all gonna pay, all of you. You're gonna get yours. As well as you wicked Israelites all over the place, y'all turn against the prophets, laugh at us, you scorn us, but we expect it, because Yahushua said, for they hated you, they hated me, and other ones, roughly paraphrasing, and other ones too, were made to a spectacle unto angels and unto men, and so on and so forth, right? So Ephesians 4 and 11, he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers, right? And you got that precept out there in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, how Yahushua stands at the door and knocks, and he stands at the door and knocks, and he that will allow Yahushua to come in, he'll deal with you, he'll sup with you, he'll deal with your spirit and allow you to grow and things like that, and it's something that's the spiritual thing, right? Of course, but then it manifests. It manifests, right? You can even see it within yourself in the physical level, right? You start out, you maybe a little nervous, a little green here and there, but over time, you start to learn more and more, and you become more acquainted, and you start to understand. Okay, what does Jake mean? Okay, then. All right, what's this whole stuff about Israelites, and then this whole stuff about the 12 tribes? What's this stuff about Esdras and World War III, and what's the Jacob's trouble, man? What does this all mean? You become more acquainted with things, and that all comes through the Spirit. You couldn't do that as a without the Spirit on the fleshly level. You just couldn't do it. You'd bug yourself out. You'd be like, man, the hell am I even coming out here? It's cold. It's 40 degrees, man. Like, I just want to stay home and hug out with my girl, man. I don't want to come out here. It's all through the Spirit, right? So that's what that is, right? And you go to the word apostles. We're just going to go through some of these, right? Delegate, messenger, one sent forth with orders, right? And of course we have apostles and elders of GMS, right? Elder apostles, but we're really all apostles. We're all sent forth. We're all sent forth in different areas. Some are sent forth in the UK, and others are sent forth out there in Germany. Some are sent forth in Holland. Some are sent forth in New York. Some are sent forth, Texas, Houston. Some are sent forth in Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina. I think you have brothers out there in like Detroit. Pretty sure you have brothers out there in Detroit. Man, let me think. Florida. Yeah, so you got brothers everywhere, man. I mean, like all across the major cities across the U.S., all in these cities out there in these other countries, all across the Caribbean even. You got brothers out there, there's brothers out there in the Bahamas, so there's brothers out there everywhere, man. Suriname, you got the brothers out there in Suriname. So it's crazy. You can see brothers out there everywhere, man. Some prophets. You go into the word prophets, right? We know that prophets is one, right? Yeah, we have that. But we'll read this one, right? 2. One who moved by the Spirit of God, and hence his organ or spokesman, solemnly declares to men what he has received by inspiration, especially concerning future events and particularities such as relate to the cause and kingdom of the Most High and to human salvation. Not to human salvation, to Israelite salvation. Matthew 1:21 explicitly tells us that he's here to save his people. All across Second Esdras. Second Esdras 6:56 says that the other nations are like unto spittle. We know that from also in Second Esdras. Esdras was all about his people. Now, if he was all about his people, he said, my people die like grasshoppers, whereas grasshoppers here in Babylon. Why would he then, get these visions and then see that it's all about other people? It doesn't make sense. He never mentioned anything about non-Israelites being saved. Everything in Second Esdras is pertaining to Israelites. Esdras constantly talks about that. He always talks about the salvation of his people. He cares about his people. Esdras is an Israelite, man. An Israelite. It's all about the salvation of the Israelites. All right, it's not about salvation of all these different nations. And to be Israelite, you got to be Israelite through the seed line of your father. All right, which nowadays, because we mixed and mingled with so many seeds, right, we carried onto these dumb idols and stuff like that. Our people, mixed up with these nations. About the Revelation 20 and the Dark Ages and all that. We got our people coming in all kinds of shades. Even you may look like a so-called black man, and you go back to your family records and say, oh, your great-great-grandfather was a white man. But then it's like, well, I'm still in this truth and I really believe in this. And it's like, well, the Spirit bears witness with our spirit that, you're the true children of the living power. So that's what it is, man. And that's what we are. Got Israelite foreigners, man, and stuff like that. And don't dig too deep into your family stuff. Who cares, man? At the end of the day, you gotta, like Yahushua said, sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Don't worry about this and that, and all these little philosophers and people online. They'll tell you the same stuff. Anyone that's worth their salt, or anyone who's experienced the well travel, will tell you the same thing. Just live for the day, man. Don't be worried about this and that, and live in the moment. Don't be afraid and stuff and this and that. Living like paralysis by analysis and stuff like that. Of course, we're a little different. We do look forward to it, to these end times, things like that. But we watch things day by day, and That's how we live, and we just live in faith. We're not worried about, oh man, am I gonna die? Am I gonna get? Am I? You know what I mean? Like, we're not like these other people, man. We have faith. I live in that faith, man. The just shall live by faith. Habakkuk, the second chapter. Prophets that appeared in the apostolic age among Christians. And in religious assemblies of the Christians, they were moved by the Holy Spirit to speak, having power to instruct, comfort, encourage, rebuke, convict, and stimulate the hearers, right? Of men filled with the Spirit of the Most High, who by the Most High's authority and command and words of weight please the cause of the Most High, urges salvation of men, right? And that's what it is. We're all that. We're all the prophets. Even Tobit says we are the children of the prophets. Us men that go out there, we are them prophets coming back. The spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. We're out there and we're doing the same thing. The spirit was, oh my God, bro, I forgot it again, and I just went into this not too long ago. Let's go into it again. You gotta go into it again. This is the book of Revelations 15. It's all right. We don't have the, we're not perfect on this side. So we just got to go into it. We got to go into it over and over and over again and get it right. And scriptures even have a lot of repetition over and over and over and over again. Okay. I forgot where this is, so we're gonna have to put this up like this and find it. And there's probably an easier way for me to find things than doing this. Yeah, it's Revelation 19. I keep saying Revelation 15. Slovakia. So this is Revelation 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. He said unto me, see thou do it not. Right? The angel told him, I'm thy fellow servant of thy brethren that had the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. Right? For to John his brethren that the Israelites are angels too, albeit, fallen ones, right? They aren't right. Alright, we fell off, right? And he's trying to bow down to an angel. You could bow down to Yahushai, and that's not a problem, because you bow down to him in the first chapter. You worship Yahushai and you worship Yahweh. Alright. Just break that down for you. You can worship. You have to worship both. You can't just worship one or the other. Exodus. It's written in Exodus. I'll send my angel before thee. He shall fight for thee. If you will not follow him and do what he says, he's gonna destroy you in the way. He's gonna jack you up. Right? And Yahushua is all across the Old Testament, things like we esteemed him not, we didn't esteem them highly. I think that one is Lamentations or Jeremiah, maybe Jeremiah 59 or something, but you'll find it. Just go in here and look up, Yahushua in the Old Testament, the true nature of Yahweh and Yahushua, and you'll find it. Right? Evangelists, right? Pretty much someone who brings good tidings. Some pastors, some teachers. Pastors, someone who's a leader. Of course, also goes to like a shepherd, someone who protects the sheep. And within the truth, you got brothers that are involved in all this. We're all really a piece of a little bit of all of it. Certain brothers will go into more things than other brothers, right? Some brothers, they'll go into a lot of good news topics and things like that. I've seen brothers do that. We're all teachers. We're all called out there to teach. And then you go into the word teachers, doctor, master, teacher. We don't really use the word master, more like a teacher. Right? Because, Yahushua warned us against that, giving ourselves, high and mighty titles, calling ourselves masters and rabbi and stuff like that. What the elders apostles are doing, that's humble, man. They just say, oh, I'm just an elder apostle. I'm just an elder who's been, sent out for a real long time, And no, I'm not calling you old, but they've just been out here for a long time, And it's not an insult. They're men of experience, aged men who've been out there and been there, done that. And those are people you should be listening to. So all the men under them that've been in there decades, and men that have been in there before you should learn from them, of course, and take their word and esteem it, and cast it by you. So many scriptures that say that, and wisdom books, and don't cast my words aside. Solomon said that. They say that Solomon wrote Proverbs as a book for his sons. And it makes sense that words are like that for that, because how the youth are, how you were when you were young. Your parents would tell you something smart and something that you should be doing, something intelligent. Oh, don't do your homework until the last minute. Don't save your homework for the last minute. And it's like, oh yeah, and then you go and you go fucking play Roblox or something, and then you got fucking, you didn't do your homework, and now it's 6 a.m. on the day of, and now you have to, somehow do your project, 2 hours, an hour before you have to get ready and go to school, and then you kind of like learn, and that's what it is, but there's just little things here, and I don't know if, his sons were young exactly when he wrote the book, but it was just something I was just kind of thinking about. Just kind of popped into my spirit. One who concerns, which of course Proverbs is for all of us now, speaking in the spirit. Instructor, permanence used by Havshah by himself as one who showed men the way of salvation, right? And we know the servant is not greater than master, so we all do the same exact thing. It's the word didascus, which means to hold discourse with others in order to instruct them, deliver didactic courses. Discharge the office of a teacher, conduct oneself as a teacher, impart instruction, so doctrine into one, explain or expound a thing, teach one something, and pretty much number one is exactly the thing that we do when we get out there to teach, exactly. The whole discourse with one. You're out there and we hold discourse with you. And how can we hold discourse with you unless we're, standing out there on those street corners, like it says, wisdom cries in the streets thereof. That's us. We're out there. We go out there every week. If we're not able to get out there because, it's too cold and none can handle his cold. The Lord's cold. I think that's in Sirach, I believe. Or maybe Wisdom of Solomon. I'm thinking more Sirach. But, when it gets really cold and, it becomes really hard for us to be able to get out there, we still make the videos online. We got the unicorn, the internet. We got the, there's another one in second edition. I'm not going to get it. But it talks about how the books were opened in the sky, in the firmament. So we got all these satellites and stuff. And, that's how we're able to get these internet connections out. And we can post a video and, brothers, you could be, your brother could be anywhere, man. Like, you could be, happen to be on vacation in like Thailand, of course, on like a day it's not the Sabbath or something. And you can, go out there, and when I go out there, we'll be in your room, make a video, and then, come in and make another video the next day and stuff like that. And you can still post, gotta, be in a particular place like it was back then. You had to there was no internet. You had letters, but, for people to hear your voice, you had to be in their face. All right. And verse, 12. For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, and the edifying of the body of Yahushua and Mashiach. Right? And that's for all of it. What it is, man. Saints, is the holy people. It's like, was it Psalm 48, 148? It'll tell you all about that. And it's for the perfecting. And when you go into that word perfecting, it really means to make complete. All of us, brothers, I shall see that teachers, we've been sent out there to correct and perfect the body, to make the body complete, like an artist. They say an artist is complete. When an artist has mastered the fundamentals of art, wind, water, and air, fire, how to draw all those things, and things like composition and construction lines, and how to put things together, and focal points and perspective. When an artist masters those fundamentals, then they say he's complete. That's what we're out here to do something similar to complete the body, by passing on the fundamentals of things that are going to lead to your salvation. Faith, worship, Yahushua. Keep the law to the best of your ability, loving your brothers, loving your neighbors, your fellow workers in this truth, right? Not having hatred in your brother towards your heart. If you do have an issue with a brother, bringing it to him, privately, and things like that. Handling, disputes between men, keeping peace, if needs be, rebuking each other, right? Looking after each other, and stuff like that. Having integrity. I mean, man, discipline, right? Come out there in the truth, if it's truth, and come out there week in, week out. That's discipline, man. I mean, a lot of people with other things, they don't do nothing every week. As soon as they don't feel like doing it no more, they stop. But the truth, you stick with it, because we're not being led by fleshly emotions. We're being led by the Holy Spirit. So, Lord willing, you brothers were edified. Just something that I was thinking about. Just kind of what in the spirit here, just kind of, brought out things I needed to. Sometimes, need to get a reminder, and if I, forget something, I just look it up, so I can get it next time. And Lord willing, you brothers edified, and that's a